Dopey guest. Let's see if he's on. Let's see. Let's see if he's there. Son of Rob Reiner, grandson of Carl Reiner, total train wreck. Are you there? Phone is ringing.
Who wouldn't want to pick up after that intro?
Hey, what's up?
There he is, Nick Reiner. How are you?
Pretty good.
I introduced you as son of Rob Reiner, grandson of Carl Reiner, total train wreck, and our friend Nick Reiner.
That's not good.
Come on, take it easy. Everything's okay. My friend Jim is with us, so you say hello to Jim.
Nice.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, nice to meet you.
So what's happening, man? How you doing?
As good as I ever am.
Oh yeah, is that bad, huh?
What does that tell you?
Well, it tells me you're not doing dope and you're not doing meth, but you're smoking weed and drinking a little bit.
Well, I'm not doing dope. I can tell you that much.
Well, that's a good thing.
Oh no, that's not a good thing. You're not reading in between. You're doing meth at this point. You're gonna say that on Dopey?
No, I didn't say that.
What did you say?
I said I'm not doing dope.
So what are you
That's
doing?
What you just asked me.
What are you doing?
Oh well, I'm smoking a little weed, taking a little Adderall.
Okay.
But that's what everybody's doing.
What does Adderall do for you? Like what?
Adderall's like a prescription speed Ritalin kind of thing.
I know. It calms people down
It's
who
like
have
a cup of
ADHD.
coffee.
It's like a cup of coffee for severely ADD. Did you hear that Dr. Drew? He says Adderall is going to be the thing that does you in. He says Adderall is that slipping.
I know, but he's like a stiff.
He is a stiff. But come on. I mean, listen. The only reason, you are Nick Reiner, original Dopey legend, so you're allowed to call in whenever you want. But I've waived that you have to be clean to be on Dopey because Chris certainly wasn't clean on Dopey.
I know, but you didn't know that.
Yeah, well, you didn't know that, even though people think you should have, but you didn't. I didn't know it.
How would you know it? Nobody knew it.
Yeah.
What did you ever, when you listen, you didn't listen to the show that often, right?
When?
Ever.
Yeah, I did.
You did? Could you hear it in his voice or no?
I had no idea. But you know what's the funny thing is, like, I can never tell when anybody's high.
Even in person?
Yeah, I have like the worst radar for that kind of a thing.
See, I think everybody's high if they get high. I think I have good radar, but I couldn't see it in Chris.
You have good radar.
Well, clearly you don't.
But you did see it in Todd, because when I was here on the show that last time, Todd was here, and you were yelling at him on the show, saying, "Todd, are you like what? You know, what the elephant in the room here is that I think that you're high right now."
Yeah, when Jim was on the show once, Nick, right, and Todd and Chris were here, and Todd like dipped out to smoke a cigarette and buy a taco, and he like went downstairs and sniffed a couple bags, and he came upstairs, and he was so obviously not. I mean, I gotten high with Todd a billion times.
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't know.
There was no chance that he wasn't high. But Nick has been through quite a lot since he's been on Dopey. In fact, one of the craziest Dopey stories I ever heard, I heard from Chris about you, and you didn't want to come on. It took Chris dying for you to come on to tell this story, didn't it?
It really did, honestly. Wow. But I honestly wish that he was around to help me tell it because I can't remember half of it, and B, because he would be such a help to try to tell it with me.
I know, and he's in it, which is the craziest part. I know I can do some of the Chris interjections, so just walk us through the story because I talked to Chris about it so much that I could probably do some of the Chris interjections.
All right. Well, where do I start even?
You're in Los Angeles.
Well, yeah. So about like a year ago, I guess, I got back on dope and other things. And to make a really long story short, I wound up having a cocaine heart attack. And I wound up traveling with this bald guy who I will not name. I don't know if I should or should not name him.
Is it Jeff Van Vanderslands?
No, his name is Jim Earnhardt. And
Been named.
he did an intervention on me when I was like 14.
Right.
And he did one again when I was 24.
Okay.
And anyways, I wound up...
How old are you now, Nick? How old are you now?
I'm 24.
All right. There you go.
So I wound up on a plane with him, and I was on like Suboxone too. So I literally like passed out on the plane, and I woke up in a hospital, and when I opened my eyes, Chris was in the hospital with me. And I thought I had like died and gone to hell.
Is that true?
No, it's not actually true, but Chris was actually in the hospital with me. And
Was he there to see you?
I had pissed the guy I was with off so much that he was like, I cannot be with this guy anymore. Like, I have to like pawn him off onto somebody. And I guess Chris had heard I was in the neighborhood, and he was like, oh, I'm going to stop by and like hang out with this guy. And yeah.
What I had heard was that somehow you needed to go to treatment. You know, you had to go to treatment, and somehow it got to Chris's sister's company, and they told Chris's sister that you were going to Boston. So he found out where you were going, and he wanted to check on you. And he went to the hospital, and you're like out of your mind. You had a heart attack on the plane. I think we should double back to that part of the story. And you wake up, and you're like, hey, Chris, no. And you start talking, and Chris is like, wait a second. Aren't you surprised that I'm sitting here? And you were like, I guess so. Things are all fucked up, man. You know, it was like that. But how did you go from just smoking weed and the occasional Adderall to relapsing on dope in the first place?
Well, how do you think? I'm a drug addict.
That's fair enough. But do you remember a defining moment where it shifted? Because that could be helpful to somebody out there who's smoking weed and taking Adderall.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of details to the story that I'm sort of just brushing over.
Are any worth telling, or you don't want to tell them?
I'm fine telling them.
Tell him. Details are the...
It's really kind of boring. I mean, it's the same old story that everybody has. I kind of linked up with this old dealer, and I was, he was a heroin dealer, and basically I started doing heroin.
Well,
again,
how did you link up? How did you link up with him in the first place? Like, how did that happen? Did you want the dope?
No, I kind of like one day I was like, I want to buy a bag of Coke, and I kind of messaged him or something, and we met up, and he was like, oh, I also have some heroin, and that turned into me hanging out with him for like 3 weeks, like doing heroin.
Right. Did you know, like, you were just like kind of done not doing hard drugs, basically?
Yeah.
So what could you describe that feeling a little bit? Because, I know what that's like. I mean, whenever I was in that situation, I just wanted the relief of seriously hard drugs without the misery of seriously hard drugs. Was it like that? Nick?
Wait, what was that?
I would always, like, whenever I relapsed on serious, like on heroin and pills and stuff, I craved that release or that relief. You know what I mean? Like, that you're going to get a certain level of relief from doing dope or taking pills or something that you're not going to get just from smoking weed.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, what do you think it was? Like, you were like, fuck it, I want to live dangerously with this guy. And then, like, did he know you had been a heroin addict in the past?
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah, he's a good...
He knew my whole drug history, and he was happy to take my money from me.
Was he just basically taking advantage of you?
He's a drug dealer.
Yeah.
He did his job.
Yeah, he wasn't taking advantage of me.
He was a drug dealer who did his job.
Yeah.
And then you wound up going to sober living in Maine, right?
Well, it was, this is why it sucks to smoke weed and not remember anything, because it's like, I went through so many different steps before I wound up at the sober house in Maine. Like, literally after the hospital in Boston, I went to a detox in Boston, and Chris visited me a few times while I was there, and he I called him a few times while I was there, and he even came and visited me, and he brought me cigarettes while I was there, and and then and then later on, I went to like another place a little bit down the road. Like I think he would know the name, but I don't know the name.
Yeah, I don't know the name. Some treatment over there.
And then I went to, so a bunch of places, and then I went to another place for about 2 weeks, and then I went to the sober house in Maine.
I remember I talked to you a bunch in that period, and you were so miserable. Remember, you were so bored and so angry. You were so.
I remember calling you at one point while I was in Boston at this like really shitty halfway house. And I remember complaining to you and being like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm like going to movies and like, you know, by myself, and I'm like still detoxing, and I'm like unsure of like what to do with myself. And you're like, don't worry, like in no time, some hot girl with a Southie accent will be blowing you.
Is that what I said? Was I right?
Yeah.
Was I right or was I wrong?
I mean, you were sort of right.
So, yeah, it worked out. I remember I just said, watch the Godfather trilogy and then watch the 5 Rocky movies. It was like, keep watching movies. But I don't remember saying the thing about the Southie blowjob. That's good advice.
There was good advice.
So then you went to Maine and you were like a pig in shit in Maine. What you loved being in Maine.
You know, I loved it. It was cool.
So, and then you were like, fuck it, and you went home. So what ended your sober run?
I don't know. I just didn't want to be away from home, and I just wanted to come back home.
But you also wanted to get back to smoking weed and whatever. I'm not judging you, Nick. I'm just like the show. Like there's a billion or there's thousands.
You know what it really was?
What?
You know what it really was? It was like I kind of knew that I wanted to relapse. Basically, I didn't even want to call it a relapse. I just wanted to get back to my old life of like smoking weed, kind of taking some pills, like doing whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I started to do it back in Maine, I wouldn't really be able to do it.
Right.
Like I knew if I smoked once or if I took one pill, I would, you know, they would send me to some treatment. I saw that happen with like a ton of kids there, so I was smart about it. And I just was like, you know what, I want to go home. And so I just stayed sober long enough till I could go home. And then, yeah, I went home and did it.
So it was like a premeditated relapse, but it was motivated by your desire to get home, really.
He just wanted to be able to get high at home with no consequences, right? Hello?
Yeah.
Now, do you feel what are you doing? Are you having fun at home? How are things?
Things are great.
What are you doing?
The usual stuff. My brother just moved back home, so that's pretty cool.
That is good. Smoking weed like Snoop Dogg, fucking playing basketball, fucking crossing people over. What are you doing? What's going on?
The same old stuff. Snoop, T-ball.
Yeah. That's fair enough. You writing? Nick wrote a big movie.
Oh, wow.
A big movie about a drug addict who couldn't get clean.
Yeah, I'm a big-time screenwriter, baby.
He's a big-time
Nice.
screenwriter, baby.
Nice.
I sent Nick my script. It's only taken him 2 years to read half of a 22-page script. Unbelievable.
I'm a slow reader. I'm retarded.
You're an unbelievable human. Could you believe it that we got Artie Lang on the show and within 2 weeks Chris would be fucking dead?
Yeah, that was the other thing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Nick,
It's honestly unbelievable that you got him on.
oh, that's you think that after Chris dies, you're still shocked that Artie came on Dopey. That's so funny. You saw Artie fucking tweeting about Chris and everything, right?
That's also crazy too.
I know. Artie, I texted Artie last week. I was like, dude, you should be the host on Dopey, and he ignored me for days. And then I wrote something passive aggressive, like, you don't need to respond. And he wrote, I need to make money, man. And I wrote, if you were the host of a recovery podcast, it would be total redemption for you. and he wrote, "Could you please stop texting me?"
Oh my god.
Which is very classic. And also, were you shocked when Chris turned up dead? I mean, I guess most addicts know that's possible, but in my mind, it was not possible that Chris could fucking turn up dead.
It was not possible in my mind.
No, I really was shocked.
I know. And it's so sad also because on the show, one of the biggest messages on the show was I was constantly telling him that he was full of shit, and he was quoting all this stuff at me, and he was full of shit in the end, and he lied about the whole thing, which kills me.
Yeah.
You know?
No, yeah.
Fucking unreal, right? Unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't as surprised about Todd. That, you know, when we found out about him, I was like, it's like the other shoe had dropped. I feel like I've been waiting for that for years.
Nobody was surprised about Todd, but I was torn up when Todd died. I was torn up like it was like family. And when Chris died, I just got really angry. I think I'm kind of probably still in shock, and I'm still angry about it. And I have dreams about both of them. I had a dream about Todd last night. I had a dream about Chris the other day. It's weird, you know. It's also like I did drugs for like 15 years and nobody died. You know, I got 3 years clean this week, Nick.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
It's all right. But nobody died when I was using. In 3 years clean, 2 of my best friends are dead within 8 weeks. You know, it's weird. And could you believe all the dopey fucking people like talking about Chris and all the outpouring of love and such?
No, it's a real following.
I know, and they even called for you to be the host of Dopey, Nick Reiner.
Hey, what do you know?
I said, clean your act up and we could talk.
Hey, my act's clean.
Give me a break. Give me a break. You know what you got to do. Let me ask you this. You ready? Here's a serious question. What do you think? I mean, and the answer is probably very obvious. But what do you get out of smoking weed that you didn't get out of full-on recovery?
Absolutely nothing.
Really? Talk about that, please.
What's there to talk about?
Well, the next question is then: is it just a habit? Is it a connection to other people that brings you back to it? Is it just like triggers from where you are? Like what?
He smokes weed to chill.
It's just how it's like sitting down to watch television for you, or.
What do you think, Nick? Talk to the non-addict on Dopey.
Yeah, I'm the non-addict. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm curious.
Yeah,
you're a non-addict?
Yeah, Jim is a non-addict. He came on to make Dopey less miserable than it's been.
I don't know if I'm doing much. I'm doing a good job of that.
Good to have us. Jim grew up with me, and we used to like get high in high school and did acid in college and whatever. And then I went off and became a horrible junkie, and Jim didn't. And Jim would like take me in if I ever needed a place to stay, or he'd come by. We'd have a meal. And he was sure I was gonna die, and I didn't die. And Jim came on Dopey once and told some insane acid stories that were funny. And my other friend, who is an alcoholic in recovery, backed out of coming on. So Jim, you know, graciously agreed to come on. He's kind of ruining the show, but what are you gonna do? So answer the question. You smoke weed to chill, basically, right?
Yeah, but I get out of it what anybody else gets out of doing any drug. It's you know what I mean? I don't want
Talk to me, Nick. I'm listening.
It's like, why does anybody do any drug? But I'm just smoking weed to prevent myself from doing any other sort of hard thing right now.
Right, it's taking the spot. And
it's a preventative measure.
You have a prescription?
It's not like that out here. You don't really need a prescription because it's legal.
Oh, yeah. So it's, yeah, I mean, listen. I mean, from where I'm sitting, if I smoke weed, like, I'll wind up doing drugs because it fucks with my head. But, like, I love being in recovery also as a junkie. I love being in recovery. I worry about you because this is exactly what happened before. But I can't judge you, you know what I mean? Like, how can I fucking judge you? I just wonder if you can be as productive, you know?
Well, I'm definitely not as productive.
Right. You think
you said you smoked weed for like years before you like got back on dope again, so
Yeah, well, I didn't. You know what? I did smoke weed for years. I did dope and smoke weed forever. Then I got off of dope and I smoked weed for like 3 or 4 years, and I started taking pills. And I never got back on dope. I did dope one time in the past 8 years. But I did start taking pills every week.
But you were really different, Dave, when you were smoking marijuana. I mean, like when you were smoking weed, you were kind of a different.
Yeah, I was
person.
like Nick Reiner when I was smoking weed. I was
Well, it's
all
like-
over the place.
Well, not just that, but you became like much more sort of like selfish. I have to say, like you.
He
Like,
says, can you hear him, Nick? He's saying that when I was smoking pot, I was selfish. Do you find that to be true for you?
Am I selfish?
I'm sure you are.
No, I'm not actually.
Give me a break.
I'm like really selfless.
okay.
How are you so selfless? What are you doing? You're bringing
Because
turkeys
I
to the
make
fucking...
everybody else around me better. I'm like Magic Johnson. I'm a team player.
Who are you making better? I mean, I guess you did come through for Dopey. I didn't think you'd come through.
Yeah, I'm like an assist guy. I'm a dimer.
What do you think about this Lonzo Ball? You think he's got legs out there or no?
No, I think he's a fucking. He's a loser. He sucks.
He also doesn't look good. They really should have given him up with this whole LeBron James business, I think.
Yeah, it's like there's this theory I have. It's like you got to be like if you're good in the NBA, you also got to be like good looking, and he's just ugly.
I agree, but I think he's just young. I think that he could take that stuff and his skin can clear up. He just needs a better haircut and shit. I think underneath it there's an attractive young man there. But what else you got to say about your using? We're done talking about Lakers. I think we're done with you, Nick. I love you though. I'm glad you called in.
Okay.
You got anything else? You got
All right.
any parting words for the Dopey Nation?
I have no parting words. Just everybody use or don't use. Stay whatever.
Let me ask you this: What do you think Dopey should be? What's your advice for the future of Dopey?
That's a good question.
That's a great question, but not for me.
Okay, let me ask you this on a personal note: When are you going to finish the script?
Which one?
The one I sent you, you fucking
22
cocksucker.
Sometime in the next 20 years.
Oh, Nick, it just hurts. It's painful. It's painful stuff.
All right.
Finish it in the next 2 weeks. I want a book report in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I also want you to take a shot at recovery again sometime, and then you can call in and say how good your life is.
Okay.
And will you call in again soon?
Yes.
But no heart attack stories.
All right.
What was the heart attack feel like?
Pretty bad.
That's it. What about when you wrecked the guest house on meth? You don't want to tell that story?
Yeah, I went 10 rounds with my guest house.
Well, tell this. He got sequestered in his parents' guest house. What was the story there? That's
Wait,
a good
so what do
Dopey
you mean
story.
sequestered?
Tell that story
It's
before you
not
go.
much of a story. I got totally spun out on uppers. I think it was coke and something else, and I was up for days on end, and I started punching out different things in my guest house.
Like a frame, like what? Like a stuff.
No, I think I started with the TV, and then I went over to the lamp, and then everything in the guest house got wrecked.
Did you punch the TV?
Yeah, I literally punched the TV.
Did you like lacerate your hands? I mean, that sounds bad.
Yeah, did you hurt yourself?
I don't even remember at this point.
You were too fucked up. He was about to have a heart attack. So he destroyed
Yeah.
the guest house.
Give me a break.
You called me that morning. It was just about a year ago. I was upstate, and you were like, "Dude, I just fucked up the guest house, and now I got to get clean." You're like, "Help me find a place." And I reached out to Bob Forrest, and then the next thing I know, Chris called me and said that you were going to Boston. Do you remember that at all?
Kind of.
Well, just know that we love you. Oh, Jim wants to ask you one more question.
I want to know, when you're punching these things out, what is it to like relieve some tension? Is it like
He's high.
I know, but is there
No,
any?
you're crazy.
You're crazy. Well, I mean, but is there any logic at all that translates into that you can remember and that can translate into real life that still makes
logic.
no logic? It's just this thing's going right now, boom, and then you
Yeah.
focus on the next thing. That thing's got to go.
Yes.
Wow.
And weren't you pissed? Like, weren't your folks like, you gotta go, and you were pissed that they were like, you gotta go,
Yep, they told me I had to go.
and that's why you got upset.
So that's
I don't. remember the specifics of it.
You do or you don't?
I don't.
Well, I think that's fair enough. I think this was an incredible Dopey appearance, Nick, and I think you should feel very good about it.
Okay.
You know what tomorrow is? There's a
What?
big announcement, but by the time that this podcast airs, tomorrow will be 2 days ago. But I'm going to give you the inside scoop, and everybody else, this will be the past. Tomorrow is Chris's birthday.
Oh, wow.
Now, for Chris's birthday, I'm creating a Dopey holiday called Christmas, CHRISMISS, because Chris died so that we could all live like Jesus. And tomorrow, for Christmas, I'm releasing the first Dopey Lost tape, episode 2.
Wow.
Are you excited?
Very excited.
Are you going to listen to it? No.
Yes.
You are?
I will.
That's right on. Any thoughts you have about making the show better, you give me a call, or if you need anything, you give me a call.
Okay.
And thank you for calling in.
Nice meeting you on the
Alright.
air.
You got nothing else to say?
Absolutely nothing.
How about Stay Strong Dopey Nation?
Won't do it.
How about Toodles?
Won't do it.
For Chris, he's dead. You don't say Toodles for Chris?
You'll do it.
I don't want to do it. That's a question. Do I have to say Toodles now that Chris died?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Where are you right now? You copping in the hood right now? What's going on back there?
No, I'm walking around my neighborhood.
What are you doing? Where are you going?
I don't know. I just stepped outside of my house.
All right. Well, send my best to your family. I'm a big fan.
All right.
You're the best, Nick. Be in touch, okay?
All right.
All right. Later. Thanks.
Take care, Nick.
All right. The great Nick Reiner. He's great, right? I love
Yeah,
that kid.
yeah.
He's funny.
He's very funny.